Aloha. This is Andrew Aloha live out of Tucson, Arizona with Spiritual Homes Production on Webinar Jam, establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values. Aloha and welcome to today's GPS Paranormal Golden Age Hangout, a webinar series we've been doing all week long. 4 people each day have been presenting, and we've been talking about everything that has to do with the paranormal. That includes UFOs, angels, aliens, food, souls, just hand analysis, prosperity, consciousness, manifesting, sacred sexuality. I mean, just about everything you can think about that has to do with paranormal. We've been talking about it, and we aren't leaving any stones unturned, not even one. So anyhow, today, right now, we have Jerry Yusko all the way out of California. Aloha, Jerry.
Good morning, Andrew. Aloha.
Yeah, it is a good morning, isn't it? It's nice and sunny here in Tucson, Arizona. It's probably going to be nice and hot, a good day for swimming. But do I have time for swimming? No, I'm going to be busy with this webinar, but that's the point. So anyhow, Jerry's going to be he's going to be talking about learning to become a master through living in your temple. Come and learn what the universal temple is. Learn the differences between the body, spiritual body, and the temple body. Start learning to become all you are. Start to remember why you are here. Start to remember who you always have been, and start becoming the master you are meant to be and already are, actually. Start seeing a new way of life, to look at others by seeing them through their eyes and understanding how they see you. Learn to become one with the universe again. So I believe you. Sure. Why not?
It's true.
I hear you. So Jerry, if you can just start out, and I got to go get an ibuprofen right now, but if you could just start out and tell us about who Jerry is. How where'd you grow up at? Where I don't know. Maybe you were born on another galaxy. Who knows? But tell us who you are. How where you grew up and how you got to where you're at, and then we'll go from there. How's that?
Okay. I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, and then my parents moved to Cuba, and there's where my experiences began. I've always been taught by angelic angels and extraterrestrials. I can remember that all my life. My first experience with extraterrestrials began at the age of 4 or 5, and my experiences with angelic and archangels began at birth. I had some physical problems. They washed over me. The doctors were able to cure me. I was considered a miracle baby for that time, and that has led me to where I'm at today. From all my teachings, I've learned to become a master of this reality. And basically all that means is I've learned how to walk equally among different races. I've learned how to own my own energy, knowing who I am. Taking away the veils that some people say that we have around us. This is a new time of energy, a new time of awakening, and a time to get rid of a lot of the old dogmas that we were taught. So, my whole life experience has been teachings from, like I said, angelic and archangels and extraterrestrial events that have happened. One of the beautiful people that I've met in my life.
Got it.
Very simple. I live in California right now, and I've been out here since the age of 8 years old. So my life is very simple. I learned to become a metaphysical teacher, and through that, a master of who I am. And that's what I would like to teach people today: how to become a master. Instead of always asking questions, how to find the answers within.
Exactly. How to find the guru within yourself and be the guru within yourself.
Yeah. And it's not that hard.
Go ahead.
Well, it's not really that hard. I found out that there's 6 separations of self, and everything goes back to energy. And once you understand how energy works in the universe, which basically we are light beings, and once you understand how light works, you can understand the universe, in my opinion. And that's basically what it comes down to. What I've created and have a book and teach is the six separations of self. It's the body, the mind, the subconscious, the soul, the spirit, and then the essence. And when we all come back together in unity and line up in energy, uh, we're very powerful beings. And to be able to manifest what we want in this world becomes a lot easier because we don't see the limitations of energy. We see the abundance of it because we are part of it now. And believe me, my life can be very complicated, just like yours, but through knowing that things will work out, and they always do, I achieve everything that I want in life, basically. I probably learned more from teaching myself than I did through school, actually, because there was so much more that I wanted to learn that the educators just couldn't teach me. I mean, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but have you ever had a teacher that you kind of like knew more than they did?
They get pissed off.
Yes. I ask them, in my classes, I ask my students all the time questions. And I make them think. And so when you're learning the temple, and I just taught a class recently, they loved it. In fact, people have found new awakenings, new insights in who they are, and things that they thought that they released a long time ago. They realized that they basically subconsciously buried them, because energy just goes from one part to another within us. And until you truly release energy from your mind, body, subconscious, and soul, and truly release it from all those energy points, and then bring something in new to refill that energy, you still have resident memory of it. Like they say, cellular memory. But you can have physical memory of it. You can have a spiritual memory of it. That's why you ever meet someone in your life and you go, I know you, even if you don't know them. You never met them before, Andrew?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You have a recognition because you have a soul connection with them, or maybe a spiritual connection with them, even though you physically have never met them before. It's a resonant frequency, and that's what I teach. I teach people how the universe, how we work as spirits within the physical world as well as the quantum world. And I blend the
Got
two.
it. No,
So,
go ahead. I was just agreeing with you.
so once you understand that, you become more of a master. You start understanding how things work in the quantum level of the universe. You understand how you work because you are part of Source, or God. And so once you understand the quantum energies, it's amazing what you can do. It's amazing how much of a master you are. Just like all the stuff that you do, Andrew, um, you seems like you work 24/7, but your energy from spirit keeps your body going and stuff, and you just keep finding the energy and the strength that you need, no matter what it takes, in order to keep um, your dream and passions alive.
Well,
And I really appreciate that.
I think it's more like I tap into that energy. I consciously and actively tap into that energy, and which is universal. Anybody can, and so as long as they choose to do so, but
It's,
you have to want to do so, and I don't know. There's a lot of techniques for doing so, and some may work better than others. But you just have to find something that works good for you. but anybody can tap into that energy at any given time, so as long as they choose to do so.
And that's true. And what I teach is how to keep that energy always there, so you never have to tap into it. You become part of it.
Exactly.
So what I basically do is all that does not serve the body, the mind, or the subconscious, the soul, or the spirit, you get rid of all that negative energy and you replace it with the universal energy. You become that what we say that we wish to be. So how would you like to be able to do all the stuff you do and never get tired?
Exactly.
Have your mind always cleared. Always have help there when you need it, and that does happen to you because you tap into different aspects of your higher energy, like you said. But it's also the physical body, overcoming pain, overcoming emotional distress, because you can take the energy of the creator and push it through your whole body and become one again. Tell your soul, like me, I always tell my cells in my body that I'm a certain age, and therefore I keep reproducing at the DNA level an internal age for myself. And when I get tested and stuff, my body shows that I'm a younger person than what I am physically. So I don't always eat the best, but when I get tested for minerals in my body and stuff like that, I don't normally have a high mineral content or poisonings in my body or anything else because I flush them out all the time. Anything that does not serve you does not belong within you is the way I look at it.
Exactly.
And since everything is of energy, if you understand how energy works, you can always take out the negative energy and replace it with positive. But you got to do it with more than just your body. You got to align your body, just like in martial arts. They say, mind, body, and spirit, and you become one. The same thing in becoming truly human or whatever you wish to be. It needs to be done through the body, the mind, the subconscious, the soul, and the spirit. And they all need to be energetically acclimated and aligned with each other so they vibrate at the same resonant frequency of what you wish to create. And therefore, at that point, you bring in the universal energy, or what I call the temple. And the temple energy is basically 360 degrees of energy that permeates outward from your body. Instead of universal energy being always directed inward, you actually become the universal energy and project outwards as well.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it's not the Dantian energy, it's the what I call the essence energy. That what we really originally were from the beginning, light. It's just like with me, I work on taking all my chakras and bringing them all together to uniform one light. So my being, my physical, can be in perfect balance. Because I don't know if you ever had like a turning stomach, or people say your heart chakra is closed down and all like that, but I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really worked on myself so my stomach doesn't turn when when I start worrying about something. I become
Exactly.
centered, and therefore I let the energy of creation come forth, and I go out and I do like you. I work and create what I need in order to pay my bills or to resolve my problems. And it's called taking responsibility, and the more you do that too, the more empowered you become.
Well, yeah, and that's true. Yeah, as you develop and grow, and take a step forward, yeah, you do. You take up responsibility for yourself. And I mean there's no way around it. Otherwise, if you don't, then it'll get you, and then you'll have a hard time.
Right.
But that is part of the process.
Right. And the great thing about that responsibility, it becomes easier when you can manifest what you want from it. So if you need money, you tell the you tell the universe what you need, and it will come. Sometimes for me though, it always comes on like I think the last day, the 11th hour, as my sister used to say.
Oh, exactly. Doesn't that drive you nuts? I hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the universe to recognize that I kind of like need it before the last minute, and that's coming. Everything that
What
I do right now is for a better future.
exactly? And that's what I do. I've changed my programming to for that reason because I get tired of waiting, for it to come to the very last second, and that gets old after a while. I'm not interested in having to worry or be concerned for anything or about anyone or anything. I want to just be able to go forward in harmony. And so I've changed my programming to the universe providing me, with stuff ahead of time, not up until the fact. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I program it to come in for everything to come in way before it's the bill is due or whatever's going on.
and, and that's what I'm doing. And one thing I really do like about about creating the temple is the energy that you can create from it. Uh, I'm a healer by trade, and from being able to push universal energy, I actually can help. I understand how I help people remotely. I understand how I can help people directly. Um, I truly believe that if you're going to learn your craft, you should know how you are doing certain things. Maybe not always the principle, but I ask people, where does your energy come from? How do you, like when people say I bring the white light around me, I ask them what type of white light. Because if you understand about energy, there's more than one frequency of light. There's
Absolutely.
there's natural sunlight, and I like to be the master of what I control. So it's easier for me once I learned how to make my own temple to bring the light within me outward and protect my whole physical environment as well as the people that I'm with. And then if they wish to bring light around them, I know that it'll balance out so nothing. We say we don't want anything negative or anything else in our light. I learned something about light before. If an entity doesn't think that it's negative, it will piggyback off a white light,
Hmm.
and it can make an influence. And I have been in classes before where I felt really high energy, and then as time went on, it felt like I was being suffocated by the energy,
Exactly.
you know. And some people call that holding space. So that type of energy doesn't come in. But when you have 30, 40 people in a room, it's hard to do that sometimes. And that's the way I look at it. If you can push light out from you, there's no ending to it because it's universal God energy at that point. And I actually believe that since we can communicate through our water-based bodies, I set up a what do you call it? I set up a request saying that my water to your water basically is healing, purified, and protection and love. And I let that energy go out through all of us,
Hmm.
you know. And at that point, when we create circles and we create energy for prayers and like that, it becomes, I believe, stronger. And once you learn how to create your own temple, you become a master instead of a student or a teacher. Life truly does change. For me, for example, I have a lot of people coming to me that ask me more questions than I ask them. It's because I realized that I'm an old spirit, and somewhere along my journey, I've had to learn how things work, how things operate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just remembering how to become in touch with it all. You know, um, human beings are very complicated and interesting beings, and I know that because when I've worked with different races, we think differently depending on our culture. Um, so my learning techniques have been also not just in what I believe, but how to teach other people of different cultures from their perspective and how they understand. But the one thing I learned that is universal is the temple, because it is source energy, regardless of what your belief system is. The temple is a creation. It is your own divine energy. And it transcends all belief systems, I found out. And that's another beautiful thing I found out about it. It's not based upon a technique of learning something that's been handed down like Reiki or theta healing or anything like that. It teaches you how to identify yourself as the master that you are, because you bring in your own higher essence or own a higher spirit at that point. Because they say that there's the soul within and then the spirit without, and the spirit without sees more than us, and it tries to talk to the body, tries to tell the spirit what's happening. It warns us with things that are coming. But could you imagine if you had more of that higher self within you?
Exactly.
And in doing that, I found out when I released my negativeness and I released energy that does not serve me, my body actually becomes lighter in density.
Exactly.
And not as heavy as a person as I used to be, which means I basically don't have um, dogmas as much, false belief systems, because I release them. Because anything that does not serve me or the creator, and to fulfill a better connection to divine energy and the other creations of life, then I don't want it within me. I want to be able to learn how to treat all life equally, lovingly and caringly. Basically, the hardest thing that learning of the temple is what it truly means to have unconditional love for all things. That is the main purpose of building the temple, to become back into oneness, in remembering who you are, why you were created, what your purpose is, and what you can do from this point forward, and how you can manifest. We can always, something, it's funny. We have the ability to change the world to a better world anytime we wish, but we don't always come together as a unity in order to do so. We let powers control different actions of life instead of taking the responsibility of just using our minds and saying we all wish peace. Because we are very powerful beings, and if we could just, like groups that have meditated and actually changed crime rates and everything else, light workers getting together and just concentrating, this is what we want the world to do. This is the way that we wish to change it energetically. And if you have universal energy within you, and it can come out, it becomes so much stronger. I've actually shown techniques in my class whereby just holding your hands differently when you're doing energy work, you can actually, people can actually feel the difference in energy within that group, where some people feel like they're disappearing, some people feel like they're going through different time shifts. People feel different resonating energies coming through them. They feel higher in vibrational energy. It's really great because you finally get to feel what I'm talking about when you become part of the energy of the universe. And that is what I like teaching.
Exactly.
That is becoming a master. And there's, to me, the human race is probably one of the best creations that God could ever come up with. And I also deal with extraterrestrials, but I think what we are as a species, what we are as spirit, we are blessed beings, in my opinion. And I think that we should honor that and become the best that we can as being human beings and honor each other through that. And when you become one back again by bringing back the body, the mind, the subconscious, the soul, and the spirit back into oneness, and actually build a living temple from that, so you always have universal energy within you, you become, or at least I have become, um, more grounded, more insightful. I have abilities. They call me a medical intuitive as well. But when I need an ability, I just ask for it.
Mm.
And
No, that's
because,
a good point.
well, because I have the energy to be able to do so.
Yeah, I
Like I
haven't thought
see,
about that. Go ahead.
well, like seeing auras around people. I'm teach. I when I had my, I never had that ability per se, but when I needed it, I just asked. I said, "This is the reason why I need it."
Mm.
And I went on, and the only thing I had to do was go online to find out what the colors meant. Because I started seeing colors around people, and I go, "Wow, this is great," but if I don't know what they mean, so once you um, ask for something and it comes, learn what you asked for and learn how to use the energy of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I I teach this seminar, like I said, becoming a master through living through your temple. It's a three-part course, and the first one talks about uniting the body, the mind, the subconscious, the soul, and the spirit together to create a temple. And then the next part comes into the energy, the quantum physics of it, and that's what my next course is going to be on, teaching people. My class that I just had,
Mm.
but it this course that I offer, and I'm not trying to push it or anything, but it can truly change you because you become into your own identity. It's more than just living as a physical being. It's understanding why you are physical. It's understanding what makes you you, how you become into your own purpose. And what most people don't realize is when they ask, "Why am I here? What is my purpose?" Your purpose here is basically whatever you decide to create, whatever you decide to do. That's why we have free will. And that's the difference between destiny and free will, in my opinion. If I told you what your purpose was and you had to live to it, is that truly defining your own free will or my free will for you? Am I making a destiny for you at that point?
So
So,
now, what are the courses that you're teaching right now? How many different courses are we talking about?
well, just becoming a master is a three-part course. You can't learn it all in one day. It's
Oh,
too,
so it's 3 days long?
no, it's about 6 months long.
Oh, wow.
Because once you start, it takes time for the mind and the body, the subconscious, the soul, and the spirit to acclimate in the same energy. And when you bring this energy in, you're not only bringing your energy, you're bringing the higher essence of creation in as well. You're bringing in different parts of energy, of either be Christ energy, Buddha energy, uh, Gandhi energy, Mother Mary energy, whatever you need to replace what you just released from all those parts of you. You're basically straining your whole life, your existence of what was in the past to this present, and replacing it to what you wish to be, what you always were for your future body. So basically, what I have done with my temple is I'm creating a foundation right now. So when I pass from this world, this body will be so high within energy that when I come into my next incarnation, my body will be of lighter density. I will be able to do basically. I will have, like, for the sake of an argument, a master body in my next carnation.
Exactly.
because I'm building the foundation here, so this body will remember the energy pattern of who and what I am.
But you know, that isn't that the truth, that people should consider taking care of their bodies even now, until they do pass on, because they're literally preparing that body for the next lifetime, and keeping it healthy, keeping it wealthy, and whatever else, to make so that they can maintain a status quo, so that when they come into the next lifetime, they don't have to repeat all this stuff all over again, and their health in the next lifetime can be a lot better. And
That's
your
true.
health is your wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's true. But how do you do it? And unless you become a master, unless you do something energetically in this lifetime, because they say that time doesn't exist. Okay, well, I believe that it does, but for the moment, let's say that it doesn't. So at this point in my quantum existence of physical reality, um, I'm taking all the knowledge, past, present, and future, so I can keep carrying that signature, that resonant frequency, into every other aspect of my existence. See, I don't live in multi-universes or anything else. I live in this one universe.
Right here, right now. Exactly.
Now, to me, when scientists say that there's like 10,000 other universes and everything else, that's irrelevant. Because the only thing that we know of is this one. And theoretically, if they exist or not, there's nothing we can do about it. So the only one that you should be aware of is this one, and what you're capable of doing to the fullest of your potential.
Got it.
That is what becoming a master is all about. There's a difference. I mean, if I say, oh, he's a student, well, you think of a student as still learning. Okay? So you don't compare a student that's still learning with supposedly a master or a teacher. And we are all supposed to be masters, in my opinion, because most of us have lived multi-lifetimes and have learned information through all of them. There should be no more veils going forth. With this new energy coming into the universe from the photonic energy coming in, it's already been proven that our DNA is changing. Let's take advantage of it. Let's find out what is changing and start utilizing the energy from it. If we're going from 2 strands to 4, 6, 8, 12 strands of energy, it doesn't do you any good if you don't know how to acclimate them and become part of them to be able to get the benefit of what those extra strands of DNA are offering you.
Exactly.
And that's what being a master is about. It's becoming the light energy and creating.
It's like having a teen. It's like a teenager who gets a really incredibly nice, fancy Ferrari. You know, he's 18, 19 years old, and you know, why bother giving that kid that Ferrari if they don't, you know, they're not going to be able to really drive it, you know, efficiently, effectively,
True.
and really in a good way. You know, they're not going to be able to handle it. If you have experience driving cars and fast cars, you know, or sports cars, that's the point.
And I agree, and that's the analogy that I'd be using. So let's learn how to start living the full potential of what our bodies have to offer, so we don't have to live in pain as we get older. And I kind of noticed that. My pain didn't catch up with me until later years, and went, wow, this isn't supposed to be happening. I never felt this before. But we don't have to do that. I've learned that just like I can heal other people, and this is how I got into building the temple, is I used to work with people, and I would do like 15, 20 people a day because I go to different fairs or I'd do stuff. And then the next day I'd be wiped out. Or the
Exactly.
next, and that got to be old.
A lot of healers do the same thing, and they burn themselves out, and a lot of times they'll take on other people's karma, and you know, energetically wise, and pretty soon they become ill, and they'll end up passing on, you know, dying because they took on all these other people's karma because they didn't take the time to clear themselves. They didn't take the time to ground themselves. They didn't take the time to really work with the energies in a good, healthy way. They're empathic, and they took, they just didn't take the time to take care of themselves.
And that's what I learned when I first started. But then after that, I asked angels, how do they do it? How do they go in and help all these different people without taking on their energy?
Exactly.
And what I was told is, you need to create a temple of universal energy coming forth from you. Become the light so you can reflect negativeness, or you can reflect light. So basically, it's like this. Do you know how stealth helicopters basically work?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a propeller, and it makes a decibel sound of, let's say, 100 decibels. And then they take a speaker and they put an out of sync of 100 decibels, and it basically cancels out the noise.
So literally, you're saying that you have some kind of generator system that you've incorporated, or actually put into your system, your body system, that generates automatically generates energy, and basically puts it out there, and continuously and basically transforms and transcends all the energy that's coming into your body system, and so that you're producing good, healthy energy coming out. Is that what I hear you saying?
Basically, yeah. What I've done was, when I created the temple, I created 360 degrees of energy, like you said, and the reason why I don't get sick, and I can work on 20, 30 people a day if that's what I need to do, or give them readings and not take on their energy and get sick the next day or the day after that and then go out and still do the same thing, is because I'm never in contact with another person's energy. And because my energy is pure, because I've learned to clear my my system from my physical body all the way up to my spiritual, and they are aligned in energy, my energy can shine into them and give and help repair them with their energy. Plus, I also work with the Christ consciousness, the Christ light, and the Christ energy, and the Christ unconditional love for all the people that I work with, and the healing of Raphael and other angelic angels and stuff. So I used to let them do the work, but I said, how did you become who you are? How did you start manifesting energy to be able to do what you do? Because that's what I want to become. I want to be able to do that without always asking you for help. And there's where the temple comes from, because the temple is universal source energy.
So the temple to you is not just your physical body system; it's an energetic system, like a Merkaba, or it is a Merkaba. I'm not sure. And then within that, go ahead.
It's beyond a Merkaba.
Okay.
It is it is my own private universal connection to source. And in my temple, I build it the way that I want it. I can always change it. My temple, so when I bring in my higher angelic angels and beings that I believe in, so they can have a place to be within me when they're helping me, it's a villa. So because people always look at things as physical reality. So I help them, because it's hard to understand the existence of nothing. So people need a foundation of going, oh, okay, what can I build? And the temple gives them a personal identity of who and what they wish to become and are.
Now, real quick, can you see yourself on the screen right now?
Yes, I can, but I'm not moving.
Yes. Okay. So that's what I was. Okay, that's what I was picking up, because you're in. Are you using Google Chrome?
Yeah, it says Google Chrome Plus on my computer.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on, but you know, I was picking up you being frozen earlier, so I switched screens, and now I can't bring you back up. But all right. Well, let's just switch to my screen.
Okay,
and
should I go to you?
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then
Well, should I click on myself?
you know what? Click on you do it on your end. Go ahead and click on your picture down below in the bottom and see if we can bring you up on your end instead. See if you can do it.
I just did. Uh,
Uh,
Now do you see me?
I don't see you yet.
It says profile. Okay, how did this happen?
What happened?
Okay,
I
I don't
can
know.
I can see myself on the screen, but I don't. And you're still frozen on that little screen down below for whatever reason.
Okay, then Google. Hang on, that's
Well,
one.
I tell you what, just leave it alone. That's okay, and we'll just work with it. But go ahead and just so I guess the temple for you is how big is this temple that you've created around your body system?
It's universal. It's the temple. This is where people don't understand. Once you create the temple becomes as big as the universe.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. And you know, a lot of people will put themselves inside a Merkaba bubble, and it might be as big as, you know, well, of course it's as big as the body system. You know, they're inside the, but it could be expanded to you know, as big as their place, or as big as their city, or as big as the planet, as big as the galaxy. But you're saying it's as big as the universe.
Because you are actually tapped in back to original creation of source. You're tapped in back. You tap back into your essence. You tap back into your soul. You tap back into your spirit. You tap back into your physical body, your mind, everything. You are oneness again. You are one,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no limitations to how big you are. I describe it as I walk through raindrops without getting wet.
Hmm. Yeah, because I typically work with the system, my my energy field going beyond to the level of, or the expansionness of the galaxy, or at least the solar system, as big as the solar system, and then sometimes the galaxy. But I don't usually go beyond that, just because I don't feel like I'm ready for more than that. I'm just working within those parameters, and that's plenty for me to work with for now.
But the beauty of the temple is once you create it, you actually have transcended to some point. You
Hmm.
evolved uh, back into the realization of creation. And since Source or God is unlimited, that's what you do. And this is why on the second class I teach about the quantum physics, the particle physics of the temple, because it's reconnecting back into um, all energy. It's a way of manifestation. It's a matter of being able to turn that water into wine eventually, or being able to manifest an apple, or being able to influence people by thought of being happy, being loving, just by smiling at them.
Exactly.
And it means never being afraid to have to walk down a dark alley or something, because you'll know not to go down it. You won't create situations that will put you in danger. And if you do, you'll know how to control other people's behavior by the type of energy that you create to send to them. And if you send love to someone, regardless of what state of mind they're in, because I've done this before where um, people have been angry or whatever, to calm them down by sending love to them. But not just any love, unconditional love of understanding.
Exactly. But you know, isn't that true? You know, people, you know, the who was it? I was talking to somebody, and they were telling me that, you know, their boyfriend is obsessed, and you know, basically stalking them, And you know, if they took the time, you know, it works both ways. She's attracting that energy to begin with, and not that, you know, there's, you know, that she's being a bad person, but she's attracting that energy. Period. And if they were to take the time and just shift the energies, then they wouldn't be encountering that whole situation to begin with, at the get-go. So and it may be that you might be getting ready to meet somebody that's gonna hurt you today, but if you take the time to clear those energies and shift those energies in advance, that even if you come across that person, that whole drama scene won't transpire, simply because you've already taken the time to clear that energy in advance, and you can do that.
And that's exactly what the first part of the teaching is to clear energy before it ever gets to you, and to release energy that has already been stagnated within you from not only this life, but even maybe past lives.
Exactly, exactly. Or future lives, for that matter.
And future lives, yes. And that's the beauty of becoming your own identity. That's why I say it's becoming a master. You taking not only responsibility, but learning how you can take and manifest what you want out of life as well, by just doing what you just said, clearing the energy before it ever becomes a manifestation.
Exactly. Yeah. So now, you're teaching these classes regularly every week or every day, or how does that work?
No, I do them basically once a month, but I could teach them more than that. It's just that the it's anywhere between it's about a 5 hour lecture, or not lecture, learning process. There's a lot
It's
to go through.
So
So,
in one day, you go through 5 hours worth of presentation,
5 to 8 hours depending on the class.
and then you do it once a month for 6 months.
No, actually, it's 3 months. Oh, it's the first one you take, and I want people to learn how to create their temple. I want them to start working with it. So I give them a 2 month leeway to come back and know how to use that energy, and make sure that they're. And I contact people all the time and talk to them, going, okay, how are you doing today? You know, what process have you made and stuff, and have them work on their temple so they can understand it. And it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. When I built my temple, it took me almost a year and a half.
Wow, really,
Yeah,
really?
and I did my clearings. I did my energy work every single day.
Huh?
Because here's
Yeah.
the thing, I didn't have someone tell me what the temple was. How it finally came to me was I was clearing my temple, and then my angels came in, and I said, you know, I'm kind of like getting tired of doing this every day. How do I make a temple? And they said, it's very simple. What do you want? What do you? We will help you create it. And I went inward. I became darkness, and then from that darkness, I became light.
Mm.
And from that, I was able to manifest, like I said, a villa. I already had the people that I knew were going to come in, and the way that I wanted. I have a vineyard, so when people come, they can have grapes or wine or whatever. It's a beautiful place, but it's a spiritual aspect of what is within me. But the energy I draw from, like I told you, is it's universal, and that's why also when I meet extraterrestrial races or I talk to them, um, I don't allow them to come into me anymore. I don't allow them energetically in my field of
Yeah,
energy.
because they can be really good at siphoning your energies, huh?
Um, they're really good at leaving trace residue of energy in you.
Exactly.
And I want to evolve to be a human being. I take I I think the human race is a very unique creation, and I want to be the best human being that I can, and I want us to evolve to the back to what we were originally. And I believe that we were originally light beings. I believe that
Mm.
we could transcend earth and heaven at will.
Hmm.
And I believe that the other races, because of how old they were, uh, they became spiritual, but they became density as well. And so, even though there are some really great races out there and they're very benevolent, once you understand the difference between spiritual concepts and physical concepts, we are just as equal on them when it comes to the spiritual undertaking of who we are and what our creation is. Now, physically, we're not always equally matched, but that doesn't matter when it comes to spiritual fundamentals, who you are and what you are spiritually.
Hmm.
If you know that another being cannot bring you harm spiritually, then you can prevent them from also bringing you harm um, physically. But there are different rules and regulations that govern different planets. Like human beings, unfortunately, can be cruel and mean to each other without justification because we operate underneath a different set of physical rules than if, let's say, an extraterrestrial came down and tried to do the same thing. And here again, once you become a master and you can just start asking questions to the universe, why, or what's the reason for, and you get your answers, um, the perspective of life becomes a little bit different. I don't always like. I didn't like how my life was originally. Always worrying about certain things now I find peace and harmony. Even I don't stress, even when I don't have certain things. Like let's say I don't always have the money that I need to do the things I'd love to do. I create other ways to accomplish them, and that's the beauty about being a master. So that's what I'm teaching.
One of the biggest things that I've come across that has really taught me really well in terms of being a master is one of the basic messages, yet a really good core foundation for being a master is basically just going with the flow. Years ago, I was in a couple of accidents, and that eventually that was what I got out of that, and that's where I am for the most part, most of the time, and just in the flow of whatever's going on, and just accepting, what is, and just going with whatever's there, and not trying to fight, and yeah, people can manifest different things in their lives and different um, um, different ways of life or whatever, but ultimately the universe knows the best in terms of what's good for you, and so sometimes it's just better just to go with whatever's going on instead of trying to create something that you could create stuff, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with creating stuff in your life, but sometimes it's just better just to go with the flow, whatever that means, because in the long run it's going to be better for you to begin with. So anyhow, we got about looks like 7 minutes left. Is there any? Well, first of all, is there a fee that you have for this workshop
Um, yeah, it's $85 plus material.
per
Uh,
class?
yeah, per class.
Okay, and you're doing it in person there in the Los Angeles area, or are you doing it over the online as well?
I haven't done it online yet. I could
Yeah,
because I could send you the manuals that go with it, and then I could do like Skype or like we're doing right now. I could do that way
exactly.
too. Um, the, I do it in Orange County as well as LA County.
Got it.
And if people would like to get a hold of me, they can get a hold of me at Jerry Yusko at yahoo.com. That's Jerry Yusko, Yusko, at yahoo.com. Or they can get a hold of me at I am touch, Touch, 7 at gmail.com.
Okay. And I don't know. Are you doing anything coming up anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm going to be teaching class number 2 next week. And then I'm also going to be on a broadcast, which I should send you some information on, a 3-panel discussion with 2 other people, with the Stephen Bassett, Kim, and I don't know her last name, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. And then I'm going to be doing a broadcast in LA, and we're going to be talking about disclosure of extraterrestrials. I'm going to be talking about the human DNA versus extraterrestrial DNA influence, and the 2 energetic energy differences between them. And Kim is going to be talking about different organizations and how to get involved in different things. So I'm looking forward to do that, and that's going to be on the what's Sunday? The 27th?
Mm.
Real quick. That would be on...
Today's the 14th, and tomorrow's the 15th, and so that's 22nd. If it's next Sunday, then that's going to be the 22nd.
Okay, I think it's the 29th. But I'll send you some information. It's either 22nd or the 29th. It's on a Sunday.
Well, also we got you slated for the Golden Age Psychic Show next Friday on Blog Talk Radio. So we have a panel of people that are going to be on that show, including Jerry and myself. And so for those of you that are interested in some free psychic readings, that'd be a good place to check out.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of people. I've been doing that show for over 4 years, and usually I get anywhere from 40 to 120 people or more people coming through that show. So I get quite a few people coming through there. So we got about a couple of minutes. Anything else that you want to put out there that you haven't put out there yet, Jerry?
No, but I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity. I think you're doing a fantastic job, Andrew.
Yeah, it's been a big undertaking for this, and I'm happy with the results. I think that there's been a lot of people that have had a lot of good information that they've been putting out, and so I think even if one person gets healed of anything out of all this, then just that one person will be worth it. So, but I think a lot of people will get a lot of benefit from all this. So I'm happy about that.
So am I. And you've had some really wonderful guests on your program, and you have some wonderful guests coming up.
I do. I still have another all day today and tomorrow, and so we still have another 7 people coming through. So we'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, and I recommend that people come back, listen to them. They'll find out some great information. I truly appreciate everything you're doing for the metaphysical community and giving us a chance to get out there and be heard. So thank you for everything that you are doing.
Awesome.
You know.
So I want to thank you for stopping by. And I don't know what the deal is with the video. I'm not sure if you have a good internet connection over on your end or not, but either way, it doesn't matter.
Well,
I want to thank you. What's that?
That's what I was telling you about my web cam. I don't know what I took my computer out and something happened, and I will fix that problem. I just didn't know it was going to happen today.
Yeah, I guess not.
Next time we do this, it should not have that problem.
Got it.
Okay.
All right, well, I want to thank all of you for being here. Have a God-Goddess weekend. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be. Aloha.
Aloha.